welcome back. It's a L1 show live stream because it was a holiday this weekend, and we're gonna bullshit for a few minutes.
We may have forgotten that
That time is real, and time is just constantly slipping away,
yeah,
like that song.
I got back from my trip and I had the crud.
Oh, now they can hear us. Uh-oh.
Oh no. It's fixed. It's fixed forever.
Sorry.
We just wanted to check the audio. It's fine.
You got back from your trip, and
I had the con crud. I still have
Yeah.
the con crud. In case it's just sinuses.
I don't feel like you sound that bad. Like, you didn't sound bad to me last week either. I think you were a little worse last week, but
Yeah, it's just
you
lingering
could just feel it
so bad.
in your sinuses. I haven't gotten sick yet, and I've been around children a lot the last 5 days. So
That probably means you're contagious.
let's hope not, for your guys' sake. And how was your Thanksgiving, Ryan? We've all talked about our holiday.
It was fine. Yeah. Didn't have to drive this year. That was
That's
100%
huge.
improvement. Yeah,
I was all over the state.
that was a big benefit for Thanksgiving.
So this is the audience of you that are here. You should share with your friends and let everybody know that we're live because it was really unplanned. Sorry. So I'm like,
Yeah, it was a little.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I can't let my friends know that I like this. Come on, just do it.
Just take one for the team, please.
Just give them the reality. Stop faking.
Aren't we your parasocial friends too?
there is also some way to stream directly to Floatplane as a live thing. I've got to do that at some point. Sorry. We love our Floatplane and Patreon subscribers because they make life possible.
They do.
Especially in the coming like post-apocalyptic like
Let's say they pay our editors. Yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
They're like the sun.
Yeah. This program brought to you by our editors, but also by viewers like you.
fun times. Do we have any pre-game questions before we get started? I actually put the official start time at 4:04 p.m. Because why not?
Remember when
It's
some,
funny. It is joke. Haha. 404.
remember, like back in the 80s, some networks chose to start their programs on the 5s?
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
You ever think, why did they do weather on the 8s on the Weather Channel?
Well, that makes more sense because like you can get it whenever. You never have to sit more than 8 minutes to get your weather. But starting it, offsetting the half hour by 5 minutes, it doesn't make any sense.
I wonder if there's a reason. There probably had to be a reason, right?
I'm sure there was.
Didn't TV go off at like midnight or something way back in the day? Maybe it was like something to get around some sort of timing with that.
I don't know how that would affect it, but maybe.
Late night cable access shows. There was a lot of crazy people using the late night cable access. It's like, well, everything is off. We'll just let them use the equipment from 2 to 5 a.m.
Who's going to be up that late?
They even made movies about it, which Chris has never seen.
What movie?
Wayne's World.
Oh, I've seen pieces of Wayne's World.
Although now Krista has seen UHF, which is sort of the other homage.
I
to-
did see that. I watched it on a girls' weekend, which was kind of an odd choice for a girls' weekend movie, but
I wonder if anybody thinks the scene where the Asian people jump out of the closet and yell supplies is problematic.
Oh, there's definitely somebody.
I'm sure some. Yeah, I was saying, I
There's
guess that the
somebody-
movie held up pretty well. Like for as old as it was, like mostly was just dumb humor the whole way through.
No matter what it is, somebody finds it problematic. There are people out there they're looking for something. They're desperately searching.
I like there's like director commentary from UHF where Michael Richards, is that the name of the guy that plays Stanley Spadowski and who was also on Seinfeld?
I like how
Oh.
you rank his accomplishments in that order. It's, yeah,
He's also in
he's
Seinfeld.
mostly known for UHF.
But in the director's commentary, they were like, we didn't really know what to expect from Michael Richards. He came on and he did this bit with this mop, and it was brilliant and very funny. But we were so stunned we didn't laugh because it was not expected at all from him.
He did that another time too, where he stunned the audience. You don't know that?
No, I don't. I didn't. Here's another thing I haven't watched. I haven't watched a lot of Seinfeld. Like I remember watching it
this
with my mom and dad, but
This
like,
was post Seinfeld.
oh, okay.
He did he went into stand up comedy. 'Cause,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like he's a comedian.
Yeah.
And he was doing a stand up comedy. It wasn't going well. And the audience was heckling him pretty bad. And his answer to that was to repeatedly scream the N word.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't believe that you don't know
never
that.
heard that.
was
That's
such a
terrible.
big thing. You got to watch that clip.
God, the bar is in hell. I bet you can't find that clip anymore.
He's just quiet. That's why you don't see him in anything anymore. Like that was the end of his career.
Ooh. Well, that's a weird little walk down memory lane.
South Park did a brilliant episode about that. You should check that one out too.
Mike Bob wonders if Chris has watched Farscape.
No,
I mean, I've not even watched that.
I gotta say, nope.
The chat is talking about Spatula City, or at least I see one Spatula City. Oh.
Did you guys indulge in retail Friday or today?
No.
What? Even my family. So my family used to like Black Friday was like a thing. Like even if we didn't buy anything, sometimes me and my cousins would just go out to watch the madness, to watch
crazy.
the spectacle. But like no one in my family has gone the last 2 or 3 years. It's like why bother? Because partly because it was COVID, and then now it's like who has money?
But that traffic, you gotta deal with that traffic just to watch people go crazy.
Yeah.
You can see it on TikTok.
We have a story about that later. I was expecting post-apocalyptic numbers, but the story was like, we did okay.
Is that just cope though? Like I feel like I don't even. I'm like who has the money?
Well, remember there was that apocalypse spending thing
Yeah.
that they were talking about, where it's like,
Everybody's putting out a buy now, pay later, like
but
Klarna.
I'm so doomed. It's so hopeless that I'm just gonna enjoy what I can right now.
I'm gonna get myself a treat.
Yeah.
There we go. I can see slightly better now because I zoomed
Oh,
in.
zoomed it. Yeah. Obviously, I couldn't read the chat super well before.
That's so hilarious because like you guys couldn't read the
Oh, yeah.
segments of the other.
Give me an opinion on the Xiaomi Linux ads on social media. I haven't seen them. Don't know yet. I mean, Linux ads, Xiaomi, fun stuff happening. We're going to talk about the DJI ban soon. Tim Freed says he spent $12K. That's a lot.
Is it maybe that's when I asked who's spending? Is it not so much like, I mean, it's still who's spending, but like, is it just the people at the top end of the brackets?
I wonder-
And they're spending more.
I wonder if a lot of businesses tried to use that to get ahead of all the chip shortages that they know are coming.
Yeah, maybe.
Good time to buy a truckload of SSDs and stuff.
A good time to restore it at level1text.com. Pick up a mug or a mat or a t-shirt.
Those will probably not triple in value in the next year, but
No,
they could.
not. I mean, they could.
I mean, if we choose for them to, they could.
I don't think that would probably be bad for sales, but I mean, it could. We could triple their value overnight.
Is the 9060 XT enough to push 32-inch 1440p at 120 FPS? Yeah, it depends on the game. Like you might need some upscaling or other technology, but it'd be pretty close. All right, that's probably enough rambling. We should probably actually get started on the actual reason we're here, because you're ready and it's 4:03 p.m.
You're in your nice turkey coma still, eating your leftovers. Time to have a late lunch.
We'll deal with the questions at the end of each segment. 3 segments, like normal, or no, it's more than 3 segments, isn't it? Because it's
Well,
each section.
We usually do 3 episodes, but there's usually 2 sections per episode.
We're starting with the government section. And there's a link in the description if you want to follow along.
I don't know if we need to do that because, like, it hasn't been that extreme, and you spend all your time typing. Let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you just bury us in money, then maybe we will have to. Let's start with a follow up, though, because we covered the fact that this, we talked about this when it happened, and we were like, oh, well, that sounds good. But what could happen between now and then? And we may have been correct in our thinking that this could happen. Actually, we knew this would happen. Oh, no.
Oh,
The
there it
Verge's
is.
headline says that the Pentagon contractors are looking to blow up a military right to repair. They want to replace it. So this article talks about the replacement. And the replacement is like a repair hotline that is, charged by the minute, basically. Or what the right to repair, like John Deere has, which is, you want the manuals for this exact model of tractor? That's going to be $150, and it doesn't guarantee your repair.
It's also insane because you might be in a situation where you can't make a phone call as it's war.
Data as a service.
That sounds great. That's what I want when I need reliability in the field.
It doesn't really matter what the rules they come up with. The defense contractors are going to engage badly with the rules. Because think about it. It's like if you build a thing that it's like, okay, these are it's made out of 100,000 components, but it's built modularly. So like you can replace this, like tab A into slot B, and that's going to replace the computer part of it or the mechanical part of it or whatever. That seems like a reasonable path to repair, because then you could have spare parts. And it's like, if anything in this assembly is bad, just replace the whole assembly. It's basically where we already are. They don't want that.
And if you're wondering, how are these people able to go from what was proposed, which was like, rigid right to repair because life and death situation, to, just call us and we'll charge you for it? It's because they have all the power right now, and it continues to go in that direction, and this is probably more of that.
Trump launches Genesis mission, a Manhattan Project-level AI push that rewrites America's tech future. But who's working on that? Is that just like a path to give Sam Altman money, or are we also giving Anthropic money? Like, who's getting the money?
It doesn't matter because Trump's getting the credit.
Yeah, it's going to be not just money, but also time and presumably the executive order that you're not allowed to stop AI at a state level. Like, it must happen. And this is almost surely fueled by the fear of China doing it better.
Yeah, they refer to it as like a new space race, basically. But now it's an AI race.
Well, W. Pattison appreciates our reporting on this. Thank you for the $10.
Thank you.
Oh, an old favorite, colostomy bag, 9367. Bought a house. Dad gave me a ring system, WDID. It's like, you can just replace the ring with something that doesn't require the cloud service.
Or you put it up when he's there and take it down when he's gone.
But I mean, he gave you a house? I mean, maybe you just deal with it, right?
That's
if
true.
it makes him feel better, and that was the free house.
No,
What if he put the ring system in the bathroom? Does that change your answer?
he bought a house. Dad gave him a ring system. Somehow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then just, thank him graciously, put it up once or twice, and then...
Now, the problem there is going to be like, let's say that you fake the ring system. Like, you leave it up, but you don't power it. Then what if you get porch pirated and Dad's like, oh, great, you got the ring. And you're like, oh.
You've got the surveillance state in your pocket.
That becomes like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Oh.
You should send him some of the Flock articles too, because they're dangerously close to folding in the ring system with the Flock system.
Or dare I say, a link from your friends.
That's why you subscribe, chat.
And the White House is also very upset with the media. They don't like the negative coverage, which is weird because presidential campaigns have pretty much always had negative coverage, but it's not welcome. And now they're going to name and shame.
The White House launches a tracker to call out "quote unquote" media offenders.
I saw this and I was like, when you're building this site, do you have a moment as the developer you're like, should I be doing this? Am I the baddie? Is this right?
I've had those moments.
The crazy thing is that, there are media offenders, but it's so, like, the insanity is so overshadowed by, like, no one acts reasonably, but that doesn't mean there aren't certain people that are way, way more unreasonable than the other people.
I would like to say that the way to deal with that is to reasonably respond to it and like give facts, but I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't know if the modern world works like that. I don't know.
Well, you should give facts by looking at this program. Everything just going to be an advertisement, just like in real life.
It really has gotten to the point where you have to go watch the body cam footage and you have to watch the, 700 angles of individuals. Like,
and then you have to make sure it's not AI.
Yeah, shooting video with their cell phones and being like, did anybody edit this? Is there any clips left out? Is there context that's missing from this? It takes a lot of effort to make sure that it's not been polluted. And even then, you're not sure.
But I would say the one thing that you shouldn't do to vet your media is to trust the White House.
Yeah.
No matter who's in it. And this is happening today. For once, we don't have to wait a week. However, I did not see an update. Did you?
I have not seen an update.
I don't know if they're going to make a decision today, but this is actually a massive decision. This is going to be really bad, potentially.
A $1 billion Supreme Court music piracy case could affect internet users. So this is your ISP liable for your bad behavior? Up until now, the answer has been no, mostly. There's been a couple of rulings. But it should continue to be no. But if it ends up being yes,
That means the ISP is going to have to start, tracking all your traffic and then shutting you down.
And as of right now, the answer is yes, because this is an appeal to the Supreme Court from another appeal that ruled that, yes, $1 billion in liability for Cox Communication because they didn't do enough to stop the pirates.
that seems problematic for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is commerce.
And if that is successful, how many people are going to copycat the Japanese Cloudflare suit?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you made a copy. You're in violation. And, if you got the FOMO, of course, RAM, that's something you want to FOMO hard on right now. Maybe some storage, but also this one, and for different reasons.
DJI ban, how the world's biggest drone maker is getting shoved out of the US. Not just their drones, also their cameras. We have some of their action cameras and their microphones. It's getting shoved out because the US government says it's like, oh, we're not sure that they're sharing data with the CCP. Maybe it's used for spying, blah, blah, blah. The reality is that like the drones are genuinely good, probably class leading products. And they can't say the quiet part out loud, which is we need a homegrown company producing the same level of technology because we need to, militarize the technology. We need the military version of this technology. And it simply does not exist in America because we've regulated all of these kinds of things out of existence. Like I, as a hobbyist, would like to have something that can fly around doing surveys. No, that's not allowed.
And that, what is the Trump thing called?
Which one?
I've already forgotten.
Yeah.
Genesis.
Genesis.
Genesis is coming, and the benefactors of that, the people who are going to get all that money, are lining up. They cannot wait.
Amazon pledges up to $50 billion to expand AI and supercomputing for the U.S. government. It's like, you'll be able to do this. The sad thing is that I think that if we are going to have something like a homegrown company that challenges DJI, I think it's going to be a smaller company. It's going to be something more entrepreneurial. Palantir, Amazon, like the Raytheon, Lockheed are not. It's like, oh yeah, look, I've got my new Lockheed Martin drone that can, fly around and do surveys and like take wedding pictures and stuff. It's like that's never going to happen. They're just going to take the money and not do anything with it.
Can we give the money to NASA and then NASA can develop the drones and then I can buy a NASA drone? Because that sounds amazing.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
No. NASA, all they want is just to be able to get more moon rocks and they keep getting their budget cut.
That all they want?
That's all they want.
They're making
I asked
their Christmas wishes.
everybody at NASA, and they all said, I just want more moon rocks.
They're all writing letters to Santa right now. Dear Santa, nothing has changed. More moon rocks.
There are some really amazing open source drone pieces of software. Remember the disclosure from Ukraine about they're using an open source thing to target stuff? And the author from that was like, well, that's interesting.
Now, we have another case that was probably on its way to the Supreme Court, but it has now been settled, and it's been settled in a way that I think some people would argue is maybe a little toothless.
RealPage agrees to settle the federal rent collusion case. So it's like, we're going to disable the way that we share data with landlords, so maybe this can't be used in the same way anymore.
So they're not allowed to capture non-public pricing data, but if you just made it public,
Yeah.
that gets around that. And they're not allowed to do certain other things with the software. They will get to continue to use the software.
So really the collusion continues, just more in private.
I think it just changes a little bit.
Yeah.
More public data, I suppose, is not a bad thing, but they made a lot of money.
They did,
It
yeah.
doesn't really seem like they were really punished if the settlement goes through with this. Nori SS says, hello all, glad you're all stuff from Thanksgiving. Something Corsair DRAM class action lawsuit. PS is the 10 gigabit USB KM end of life. No, it should be restocking soon. Just parts availability.
And we have had arguments about what happens when AI creates all sorts of things. And now we know about inventions, and this makes perfect sense.
US Patent Office issues new guidelines for AI assisted inventions. They say this is basically like using CAD software or database software or whatever. The invention still goes with the inventor. It's who is directing the AI and what they did and blah, blah, blah. One of the things with patents too is that someone skilled in the state of the art would be able to reproduce it from your patent description. So you're going to have to disclose aspects of what you did, including maybe the inputs that you gave the AI, if that's going to be necessary to reproduce what you did for the thing that's patented.
Well, you have to tell it what version of the AI you used, and will that always be publicly available?
And would it even generate the same thing twice?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Seems like using AI to get a patent wouldn't work, but
Here's another small victory. This may just be because they have other ways of surveilling this now that are even better, but it's something.
The Electronic Frontier Foundation reports on an update. I think we reported on this last week or the week before. The court has ended the Dragnet electricity surveillance program in Sacramento. It's like, no, this is not reasonable. Can't do
Did we
this.
already do this one?
We covered it, but this is an update from the EFF, I think.
So they were looking at everybody's electricity usage,
For 10 years.
no matter what you did. So they said, hey, you kind of need to think that they're doing some kind of crime before you do that. And more government cloud computing, but this time it is not just America. It is everybody in NATO.
NATO taps Google for air-gapped sovereign cloud. Chocolate factory wins contract.
I read this and I was like Wonka or
It's not the most exciting story. Oh,
those
God.
Oompa Loompas, man. They love defense contracting.
And Texas, depending on when they did this, that might have been some terrible timing, but they did it, and that, it might rebound. That actually might have been good timing.
The CoinDesk headline is that Texas has bought in $5 million worth as the tumultuous, towards the first government crypto reserve thing. I mean, okay, but things are kind of frothy even still today, right?
But they didn't actually buy Bitcoin, so they bought a stock that tracks Bitcoin. It's not quite the same thing, but they're sticking their toes in the water.
It's like, oh, you guys bought the dip. Congratulations. There was somebody, some policymaker in there that had some kind of a quote like that. And it was just like, oh my gosh, please just make it stop. At least I'm sure the crypto people are happy that the AI thing is happening to distract people from talking bad about crypto.
But also, they're probably competing for the data centers and stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
certainly the electricity. That's bad news if you're a crypto person.
Beep boop Google survey dollars. Thank you, P-Tong.
Thank you.
And Piton.
P-Tong.
The Piton.
Like from
No. It's
Oh.
literally PTONG 89.9.
Oh, okay.
Piton.
But you're thinking like from peak.
And this is crazy. I mean, I'm no fan of the big tech companies, but to blame them for human stupidity, I don't know. I feel like this is just too much.
Social media giants liable for financial scams under new EU law. This kind of thing is really dumb for a lot of reasons, but not the least of which is when the laws were changed very, very slightly to very slightly disfavor banks when like elderly people were wiring money to like scammers. We started to have a lot of problem with the banks just debanking people. It's like, you did some weird transactions that we don't have to explain. We're just you can't bank with us anymore. And the problem with that is that you're in basically a global file that everybody has access to, all the banks have access to. And so it starts to become a real problem. It's like, I would just like to open a bank account and have my money and do stuff with it. And they're like, no, we can't let you do that because they're responsible. Meanwhile, HSBC can, happily launder cartel money and drug money and, weapons stuff. And, it's fine. But you, the pleb, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, but if you're going to send all your money to Nigeria, is it maybe better that you don't have a bank? I mean, you can't protect everybody. They'll just get worse if you give them more and more protection. But if you are someone who, that was a Euro thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, EU. Now, well, this is not in the EU, though. Oh, no.
You've messed up.
But let's assume that the UK joins the EU again. You would call them to report this kind of thing, but that's not an emergency. So you would not be talking to a human if they get their way.
Police force trial AI agents on the 101 service. Basically, if you have a non-emergency question, will the AI agent help you figure out what it is? And they're trialing it. And the jury's out on if it's useful or not. The PC Archive gave us $2 and says, stuck
Thank
at
you.
work, can't type, love you. Well, love you too for the $2. Thanks. HSBC FTW. Yeah. You look into that and it gets dark fast, and then it just keeps getting darker the more you peel back the linoleum.
But it won't be dark soon because we'll have all the power that we could ever want.
Well, we won't.
Well, that's true.
Us,
Data
us.
centers. But you know what? You'll be sitting in the dark. But on the horizon, the data center
With a
will be
glow.
like a shining beacon.
Brit plots atomic reboot as data center demand surges. Pretty soon we'll be planning communities. It's like, how do we keep the community heated? It's like, oh, we'll have to use the waste heat from a data center.
It'll be like
Wastewater.
Frostpunk.
Yeah.
Everybody get closer to the machine in the middle.
Wolf's friend 42, thank you. How long would society last if China stopped all their outbound shipping? Yeah, it would be bad fast. It would be bad for them too, but probably not as bad.
Society wouldn't collapse, but there would be a lot of casualties, I think, for sure.
Everything would get a lot more expensive really quick.
And we're getting some like mixed signals in the EU about the big tech companies and like, are they going to go after them? Are they not? But the individual countries are still disputing these things.
Poland has probed Apple again over app tracking transparency rules. They're sort of asking, hey, what are you tracking in your ad profile? It's like, Apple, you're doing all this work to protect the end user's privacy, but what are you doing exactly?
And this is, it's kind of weird that the battleground that a lot of EU countries have chosen here is the dating apps.
Yeah.
And so they're saying, hey, these dating apps can't compete because you're making them disclose all this data tracking while you yourselves are not required to follow these rules. Apple, on their part, says, oh, we don't track data. I don't know if I believe
That's
it.
not true.
That's not true at all. Not even a little.
Oh, that data. Oh, right. Yeah.
We just
Sorry.
use that to improve the user experience. That's why we did, Apple Glass.
We didn't know which data you were talking about when we said we didn't track any data. We don't consider that data.
And if you don't think the future of warfare is electronic, here's a good data point. Because, I mean, come on, these people, how many of these soldiers would not already be doing this? But they are going to organize it.
Army will use Call of Duty to sharpen soldiers' combat skills. Yeah.
That's the Brits. But they're going to go up against 40 other countries. So that means that I guess 40 other countries are also going to field esports teams from their military.
I heard that they were doing some of this with like the NATO alphabet, helping people remember things. So they're doing video game drills where they have to communicate with their teammates with like the NATO alphabet and using all the same code and stuff.
The try hard sweats when you're playing a game and they're yelling out stuff and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just running around shooting.
And that approach has been more effective than traditional training.
That you want me out of your group on online play? Start doing that nonsense. Like, bro, this is
call
a
outs.
game. It's a game.
We got $5 from Sami speaking in code. I don't understand. It says, Ryan, has your P320 indeed, or did you safe queen it?
He's talking about the Sig Sauer pistols. Like, there are so many, and this is what the military is using now too. They discharge without, you don't even have to touch it.
Oh,
Yeah. So no, mine is stock. I mean, they did one fix. I got mine after they did the fix, but I don't leave anything in the chamber.
you don't want to risk that.
No, I mean, that's insane, right?
Yeah.
I would never carry that gun. I do like it though. I mean, it shoots so well.
Except for, the random discharge part.
Oh, if you're at the range though, you're following your gun safety at
It'll
all
be
times.
fine.
That's all right. And the president of France is not happy with Mr. Trump. And they got a picture of them shaking hands here, but don't just look at the picture. They are not friends.
President Macron accuses the U.S. of undermining EU investigations into big tech. The rationale here seems to be, it's like, we have to do this in order to do business. Like, have you seen Meta? Like, all the stuff that Meta has disclosed is like, we can do this thing that's good for humanity or this thing that is good for business. And it's like, we're going to have to go with the good for business thing. And so Macron is saying, like, is there no path to do something here that's not exploitive? And the U.S. government's basically saying no.
And Macron is saying he's trying to go to his other EU friends and be like, hey, bro, let's form a coalition. And they're like, I don't know. Trump wouldn't like that. And so he's frustrated. He's also frustrated that people are saying mean things about his wife. He doesn't like it.
Macron pushes for new legislation to rapidly block digital disinformation. Basically, this is a system where the complainant will go in front of a judge within 48 hours, and the judge could issue a ruling that's like, yeah, this has got to come down.
If you're a judge in France, does that not just make you like,
What a waste of time.
yeah, I'd be like, come on, I've got other actual real cases to handle.
Our politicians, and I mean, certainly in America, we're in a glass house here with Mr. Trump. They can't tolerate criticism anymore.
No.
Like they're children.
They can't tolerate criticism with receipts because they'll just like say something and then it's like, here's the
Actually,
video.
you said that. Was this you? Yeah.
Yeah. What changed from this quote? It's like, what now? And then that's when the petulance comes out.
And the Australians are getting ready. I think, what is their day? Like the 16th or the 10th or something, where the children will be cast out. They'll be left to just
Into the fields.
socialize among themselves. No one knows what they're going to do. And the EU is saying, I like that.
European Parliament calls for social media ban on under 16s, just like Australia. That's getting ready to happen in Australia. Anybody in Australia in the chat can comment on that because
Do you have, I
that
assume
seems interesting.
our demographics are overwhelmingly older, so I'm assuming it would be your children or like a niece or a nephew. But if you're a teenager, sure, tell us what your experience is like.
If I was a teen, I would encourage all my friends to like aggressively spend more time with a family, but do it really annoyingly. And it's like, oh, well, I mean,
I don't have a phone.
I don't want to
or-
bother you, but I don't
Yeah.
have anything else to do. And France is also still following that whole breaking encryption stuff. Like they really, really want to break encryption. And even though keeps getting smacked down, they are individually harassing the companies into trying to do it.
Graphene OS exits France over encryption backdoor pressure. Now there was a law that was defeated that would have required mandatory backdoor encryption or backdoor access in France. But Graphene OS said that their developers are still getting a lot of law enforcement requests that they describe it as kind of disingenuous. It's like, we can't, like, oh, a criminal was using Graphene OS. Like, we can't help you decrypt the phone. We can't really like add a backdoor to it. Even though there's not a law requirement, it seems like they're still facing a lot of pressure and like in-person harassment. So they're just like, all right, we're going to, disallow development and hosting in France because this is ridiculous.
And EV adoption continues to tick up. And the way it was sold to most people was, hey, it's cheaper overall in the long run. And we're going to give you some upfront subsidies and everything's going to be beautiful. And then somewhere along the line, they were like, wait a minute, we tax fuel. There isn't any fuel here. What are we going to do? And they're just making it up as they go along.
The BBC headline is Cross-Border Electric Car Drivers Ask for EV Tax Detail. This article doesn't have nearly enough alarm in that everybody comes to the same conclusion, which is we're just going to have to track where the car is at all times to know where to charge and apply the tax. Because if you're in this country, the tax should go here. And if the tax, if you're in this country, the tax should go there. And it's like, guys, we don't need to put a permanent surveillance thing in your EV car. That sounds terrible and dumb.
And they're like,
And yet,
no, that sounds wonderful. That's what we like. More surveillance. Have you not been paying attention? And we have another, maybe this is another like scare tactic article, because the mood in Washington is definitely, oh God, China. And this sort of leans into that.
Robots and AI are already remaking the Chinese economy. Yeah, I mean, this is probably not untrue. Like, nobody in China wants to work in a factory. And a lot of those factories have already been automated. It's just that now you can see humanoid robots have a little bit more versatility. And so it's like, are humanoid robots going to take over overnight? Probably not. But a lot of those factories have already been automated a long time ago.
or people are just not, like you said, people in China don't want to work in factories anymore because like there's a middle class now in China. They'll just move to other countries, which is what they've already been doing too.
That's can be difficult in China, though,
Uh,
especially if you want to take your money with you. And DJI is not the only target. We have looked at a lot of Chinese companies and we say, yes, they're all the CCP.
Pentagon cited Alibaba on China military aid on October 7 memo. Alibaba responded and said, we don't really directly do anything with the military, but we do sell a lot of stuff to a lot of people.
And the EU brought out those laws where it was like, hey, these tech fines, you're far too rich for any of this to hurt you. we're going to do this as a percentage of your global income, which would hurt. And India was like, hey, we like that. Let's do that. And now there's a risk that it might actually be applied. So Apple is full court press here.
Apple asked the Indian court to block the antitrust law allowing a $38 billion fine. Yes, we would like to delay this and maybe reduce that fine entirely.
Please
because
don't fine us that.
That seems like a lot.
Isn't that what like Nordic countries do? Like if there's like a parking ticket, if someone's speeding, it's not just a flat fee, like $10 if you sped in this area or you parked in the wrong spot. It's like a percentage based on your income.
Which
I've read that online. I don't know if it's true.
don't we have in the Constitution? Is there something like equality in the eyes of the law or something like that? I mean, I know they don't have that, but it doesn't feel right to do that.
On one hand, though, but it's like once you're rich enough, if it's $5 to park in the handicap spot, you just think of that as a fee. Like, oh, I'll just pay for the $5. But for somebody who's actually,
I guess.
yeah,
But when companies do that, we are repulsed by it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like when software is sold in poor countries and then they mark it up. And medicine, they do that with medicine. Think about that. And Singapore is a little bit fed up with the fake stuff. And as we've learned, Google, when they want to, like with the SMS messages in America, they can make a difference. They don't really care about a lot of this stuff. But when they do care, they can change it.
Singapore orders Apple and Google to prevent government spoofing on messaging platforms. So this has something to do with SMS. Singapore has apparently locked down SMS so that certain numbers and number prefixes are known to be government, and so people will trust the stuff from those numbers more. But if you have iMessage or Android messaging, you can claim those numbers and then send messages as those. And so somehow in Singapore, spammers have gotten control of number prefixes that have to do with the government, and so that's what Singapore is complaining about.
RCS does not enforce it. SMS does, and they're like, "Hey, Google or iMessage," and they're like, "Hey, it has to do that."
Thank you, the PC Archive. Watched your interview with Alan Jude like 5 times. Thank you. Should watch this like 5 times. Woo!
And just look at these gorgeous fields of
That's
flowers.
all I could think about looking at this photo was like, I can't wait until this is a nuclear wasteland.
Yeah, just imagine that this is just standardized copycat buildings, parking
Gray,
lots,
sad, no biodiversity.
clouds of evaporated cooling coming out the top of them.
Japan's high-stakes gamble to turn islands of flowers into global chip hub. Hokkaido? Yeah.
Hokkaido, which is the northernmost Japanese island where it actually snows. And you ever see those like snowy wonderland villages from Japan?
Yeah.
That's Hokkaido. And if they have their way, all of that will be paved.
Pave that over, let's really warm it up so they don't get those beautiful snows anymore.
But yeah, they're saying that that's going to be their like center for, that's their, what was the Trump thing? I keep forgetting.
Genesis.
Genesis, yeah. They're going to Genesis those flowers
All over Hokkaido.
into AI processing. And we have in the security section, of course, more data breaches and the big name. We all knew this was coming, right?
Yeah.
It took longer than I thought.
ChatGPT maker OpenAI confirms major data breach, exposing users' names, email addresses, and more. Transparency is important to us.
Is what the AI said.
So it's the oldest excuse in the data breach book that we have now. This is the partner that was leaked by a partner.
Discord also pulled that. This was just a third party. It wasn't us.
Mixpanel has had this problem, and it's not subscription users. It is API users. Yeah, here we go. And here's what they got. It's not as bad as it could have been, I guess.
Yeah, that makes it okay.
And that was not the only breach that we had.
U.S. banks scramble to assess the data theft after hackers breach financial tech firm. So this was, I don't remember if we reported on this or not, but this is one of those like aggregators that aggregates all of your information. Like the banks have decided it's easier to just collude and share information with a third party, and then the third party has all of your stuff.
This was loan data. So this company just got all the loan data and kept track of it or something, and didn't secure it.
Oops.
And if you are a high profile user, I don't think that I qualify for that, so
No.
I'm safe here. But if you are famous, if you're internet famous, watch out.
CISA warns the spyware crews are breaking into Signal and WhatsApp accounts by installing malware on your phone and then attacking those apps directly on your phone.
We're zealous YouTubers, thank you. And Twitch stars.
I also don't use either of those apps.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
think I'm all right.
Bushy 1147 asks what I think of the 9850 X3D rumors. We'll see.
And Google has made a very big refusal here. Now, this was reported by Malwarebytes, and everybody else picked it up, but they say no, that was fake news.
Google denies misleading reports of Gmail using your emails to train AI.
They're absolutely reading your emails, though.
It's weird, though. They have those options you can turn off, which seem to suggest that they're using your emails to train AI.
And at least one tech reporter, The Verge, said that they went in and checked, and theirs had been turned back on because they knew they'd turned it off previously.
So it's just like Windows. It's like,
But
oh.
Google has also denied that. So we'll see.
If they just keep denying it, it won't matter because then Genesis will go through and it doesn't matter. We don't regulate AI anymore.
Now, if you are a tech CEO or leader or whoever, a government leader, you're not supposed to say this part, which is the security failures are actually useful because it's the excuse for the surveillance state. For some reason, I guess this guy did not check his dystopian memo that day and didn't get it.
Roblox CEO defends AI facial age scans and says that they have the predator problem they have is an opportunity to really just close the loop on all this stuff. It's like, oh, we can go even more Orwellian, and that's an opportunity. And it's like,
Imagine how good it feels to hear that if your child has been a victim of that. And finally, this became a big thing. What was it, like 2012 or so? Everybody was doing this.
Biohacking stuff. Yeah.
It was a bad idea then. It continues to be a bad idea.
Magician forgets the password to his own hand after RFID chip implant. It's like, oh, how will you change the contents of it? You'll need the password. Like, well, guess he's going to have to pull that implant and replace it with a different one.
Ooh.
They did. Some of his tech savvy friends offered him. They were like, well, if you're willing to sleep with a device on your hand, I'll try to brute force it for you. We'll see. He tried to come up with magic to do with this thing, but phone security quickly went too far and he couldn't do it. So then he put it on just an Imager URL for like a meme, like, oh, scan me, and there's a meme. But Imager is now blocked in the UK.
So it's like no reason to have it anymore.
Oh,
That's sad.
that's kind of sad.
That wasn't a smart thing to do.
Mike Bob says his tab just crashed. Oh, we were discussing the forbidden knowledge.
That is kind of like a cool idea. Like, or just, I guess maybe it's like a world building thing if you're writing a story. Because, like, what is a wizard if not someone who just, researched really hard to figure out how to manipulate the natural world? That is he is actually a magician with the RFID. He's just not a very good one.
Can you imagine when there's nanotechnology everywhere? Like, okay, imagine a society that builds up and we have nano machines everywhere, and then something catastrophic happens and everybody forgets there's nano machines everywhere. But the nano machines are really good about just,
They just keep themselves going and they know what's going on.
Yeah, but then you got all these nano machines you can't do anything with, and then you get a Merlin type character who's like, wait a minute, these are just nano machines, and I can command them with my brain.
I found the scrolls to explaining how to use them.
And he figures it out and he comes up with compelling evidence, and then they burn him at the stake because that's what happened with germ theory.
But then he casts Fireball because he's also a regular wizard.
Yeah, all the lithium ion in the microscopic robots is like, okay, make one giant ball of lithium and just.
We're all caught up, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's working to flow better if we just do them when they come up.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. It's all good. Thank you, everybody. You all rock.
And yeah, it was the big day. I did not participate, but apparently it was not the flop that everybody expected.
AI helps drive a record $11.8 billion in Black Friday online spending.
Again, my question is who?
Everybody bought now, but is there some pay later?
Yeah, is there going to be a pay later?
What are those credit card bills going to look like? You got to spend more for Christmas.
I know, like I said, I was talking about my family and some of the stuff we do. So no one did Black Friday this year, and then for one of my family Christmases, we're not even doing gifts. We're gonna do food and stuff and still get together, but we're not doing a gift exchange because it's like it's just too
I've
expensive.
made some no gift agreements.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because it's ridiculous.
yeah, it's so much.
Yeah, and maybe you're just doing that because you're tired of the, it's such a ridiculous feedback loop. I don't enjoy it at all. But you also might be doing it because you're broke, and that is not improving.
HP to cut about 6,000 jobs by 2028 and ramp up their AI effort. I thought it was weird that they were announcing that they were cutting this many jobs over this kind of a time scale because they said, well, we'll probably shed about 1,000 to 2,000 jobs in February of 26. But then 6,000 by 2028, like that doesn't seem like a lot over.
Also weird to just come out and say, yeah, it's AI. Because up until this point, a lot of companies have been trying to avoid saying that part out loud.
I feel like they're not being quiet about it anymore.
Well, but it's not just them. This seems to be the thing to do.
Alliance cut up to 1,800 jobs due to AI advances, the source says. This is a Reuters headline. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of that happening this time of year. We have a lot of stories that are about that kind of thing.
I think at this point, they believe that the stock price gains from announcing AI is not as bad as the bad PR from the layoffs. Which is
Also, what happens when you actually need someone to do the job?
if you listen closely on a cold night with nothing else going on, you can hear the value of humanity falling, the whistling of it.
It's like snow until all of a sudden you hear a crunch.
And Oracle has bought in 100%, actually more than 100% for the AI future. So far, they have lost on that investment, and some people are getting a little worried.
Morgan Stanley warns Oracle credit protection nearing record high. So this is saying that Oracle has borrowed more money than they have ever, I guess. And that might be problematic unless they start seeing returns on the money that they're investing.
This is the credit default swap. If you don't remember 2008, that's what blew up the world. And it's not looking good on this chart. That line is going up. That's not where they want it to go. Oracle being they. And we have another update on the China versus the Dutch story. And this was a weird one because they kind of like last week, they were like, okay, China, you can have it back. And China was just like, don't call us anymore. Lose our number.
What's going on with Nexperia? China's Wingtech escalates a war of words with the Dutch chip maker. So the Dutch were basically took over the company, and then they're like, okay, we think this is under control. Like, you're going to have to do this and this. And then I don't know. There's not really a good explanation for what originally happened here.
They say that repeated attempts to establish direct communication through conventional channels has failed. So they are publicly putting this out there, being like, hey, please answer our calls. We need chips. China's playing hardball. And China, they are decidedly behind the rest of the world when it comes to the chips. Of course, the big NVIDIA drama that they went through. But they are claiming that they don't need exactly what we have to outperform.
China claims domestically designed 14-nanometer logic chips can rival 4-nanometer NVIDIA silicon. Architecture leverages 3D hybrid bonding techniques for a claimed 120 teraflops of power.
No one has actually seen this functioning yet. They promise it works. Big if true.
I mean, we've seen some of the things from like Huawei GPUs and other things, and they're catching up fast.
And we saw Microsoft, Cloudflare, and Amazon drop the ball pretty spectacularly in the past couple of months. And people are maybe a little worried about that type of thing. And Amazon is taking some steps here. We are in the worst section here, the US East, the most problematic. And they're saying that, no, we're going to fix it.
AWS builds a DNS backstop to allow changes when its notoriously flaky US East region wobbles. So they're building out a US East region in Ohio, which is probably going to be less terrible. But basically they're saying, hey, if US East craps out again like it did before, there is a path to bringing up your DNS services in another region, which this is frankly probably overdue. Like, I don't think Amazon should really charge you extra for having automatically redundant distributed DNS services, because basically every hosted DNS service is already doing that.
And Google has basically destroyed every reason to use their product by going after the ability to run software that you want to run. And that is maybe what's going to lead to this.
Apple is set to top Samsung in global smartphone shipments, analyst says. Could that have anything to do with why, the Samsung doing it's like, oh, let's put bloatware on your phone you can't remove.
They're really doing everything they can to ruin the experience. And it's worked. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get another Samsung phone, being 100% honest. I'm not going to get rid of mine right now because it still works, but whenever I get an upgrade, I will not do a Samsung.
Now, those of you who are still hanging on to Windows 10 and you're saying to yourself, oh man, maybe I'll try Linux. I'll just keep my old SSD just in case I need to go back to it. Well, watch out.
The unpowered SSDs in your drawer are slowly losing data. It's also not, it's not as permanent as you think, but it's also not quite the problem as stated in this article.
Most people don't stockpile to that level. And companies are terrified of this RAM situation. And they're thinking, imagine if you're trying to sell a laptop in 6 months and it has to be 50% more expensive just because of the RAM. The consumer is not going to be down with that. So what do you do?
Lenovo's stockpiling RAM to hopefully keep laptop prices down. There are some models already that have been cut from 32 to 16 gigabytes of memory. And that's just going to be the way that it is moving forward.
But the AI PCs need it desperately. How can Copilot help you?
Please let Copilot help you.
And it's so bad that the number one supplier of everything in the world is now feeling the crunch.
NVIDIA is reportedly no longer supplying VRAM to its GPU board partners in response to memory crunch. Rumor claims the vendors will only get the die and force them to source memory on their own. Yeah, it's like, I need GDDR7 for this GPU. It's like, sorry about your luck. I don't know. Good luck. Find it somewhere else.
The price is the same. It's going to be more later. And we have our terrible news of a giant tech corporation gobbling up something that people loved and promising that they weren't going to change it. It was going to be the same product that you loved all along. Suddenly it's not.
Arduino's new terms of service worries hobbyists ahead of the Qualcomm acquisition.
So they got some terms of service changes here that you should go and read.
They're going to appropriate things that you upload to the cloud.
Yeah, this is the biggest one, is they pretty much own it. Now, this is just the cloud service, not local stuff you're doing on these. But it's still not a good look.
No.
Yeah. And how much longer before they're like, no, we own everything.
Yeah, these two down here are the really bad ones.
It's like, are you planning to build a successful product with Arduino? We would like to be involved in the negotiation for that, and we'll charge you more because your product is successful.
So we don't really care about the product so much. We do want the money that it might generate.
So don't use the cloud if you're going to do Arduino. And another data point that we are maybe a little too poor.
This headline is very blamey. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, the mood is just like, how dare you, consumer? What do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Americans are holding on to devices longer than ever, and it's costing the economy. It's like, no, it's not. It's not costing the economy anything. Devices should last. I would love to have a 5-year device. It's a reasonable experience for 5 years. That sounds amazing.
If you have an economy that is dependent on people uselessly consuming, maybe the problem is the economy. Maybe some changes are needed.
You know what else consumes relentlessly? Cancer.
And private equity. You
Yeah.
can make the same argument for them.
Private equity owned a data center behind the giant CME outage. So this is what, the precious metals of the commodities exchange.
It's all the commodity futures.
Wow.
Pork bellies, everything.
It went down just as the price of silver was going up.
Cooling. They could not cool the data center.
Thanks, private equity.
In the winter in Chicago.
You think maybe
After they just had a snowstorm.
think maybe that was done deliberately because the timing of it was very sus.
And here's the one that I completely forgot about. Did you guys even remember that this existed?
I did when I read this headline earlier.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah.
before I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing. But except it's not a thing.
No, it's not.
At least not yet.
The Trump mobile phone is nowhere to be found after months of delay, according to NBC News. Some folks have asked for a refund. No refund has been forthcoming. And it's like, what phone is this exactly? What model is it? Is this a thing? And there's not any good answers. Seems like it might have been a scam.
So like, what is Trump Mobile doing? Like, what is their business right now? Well, they sell other phones. They sell Samsung and Apple phones, neither of which are made in America.
Mm.
Hmm.
So weird.
And here's an interesting byproduct of our future that some people might not have thought about. Now, this is an interesting one because it makes it sound like this is contributing this, when in fact it might just be distilling it, but still a concern, I guess.
It is still a concern.
Amazon data center linked to rare cancers and miscarriages in Oregon, report warns. But when you dig into the report, you find out that the things that they've detected in the water have to do with farming,
Nitrates.
not the data center.
It's something to do with like the fertilizer. But the issue is then when they run it through this data center, it condenses it and makes it more pungent, I guess. Like 8 times beyond what it's supposed to be.
They're distilling it, literally.
Yeah.
They're evaporating the water off of it and then pumping it back into the water table. And it's just, it's like brandy. It's like cancer brandy.
Mm.
It's like, we're not making the water more polluted exactly. We're just,
We're making it stronger.
we're not boiling off the pollution.
But it's also true that, like, if you read that headline, you shouldn't be like, oh, we got to do away with the data centers. You should be like, what's going on with the farming?
Yeah.
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 Maybe look further toward the root of that cause. I'm not saying the data centers are necessary by any means, but it's bad all the way down. And you can't be sure about anything in this day and age. What's fake, what's real. You have to question everything. But there is one touchstone that I know is true, and that is that nobody likes Windows 11.
Dell says Windows 11 transition is far slower than Windows 10 shift as PC sales stall. This article talks about how nobody wants to adopt Windows 11 machines. And it's even more insane than that. The one thing that I think this article doesn't touch on is that if you look at the numbers for how many corporations are adopting Mac laptops, like the cheapest MacBook Air laptop, the one that was like $500 or $600, that number is scary big. And like, I wouldn't think that, it's like, oh, Apple and the Fortune 500, that's a little bit of a joke, right? Because they don't have good fleet management utilities. And no, the companies are adopting Apple laptops like crazy. And those people are not coming back to Windows in any form. And that is really interesting.
And if you're in the host your own space, that is a smart thing to do because, just look at what we talked about in the cloud so far. Arduino is just going to steal the stuff from the cloud. You can't let them do it. But you also can't take the easy button solution when you're doing that because eventually they will change the terms.
Plex is now enforcing remote play restrictions on TVs. They want you to be in the Plex ecosystem. They want you to have the Plex Pass. Now, Plex is subscription-based now, although they do have the lifetime license occasionally on Black Friday. They just had one. But you know what? You don't need Plex. You need Jellyfin. You should just forget Plex ever existed and move to Jellyfin.
And not only do you have to have it, but the server has to have it as well.
Yeah.
So it's really a bad deal. And everybody loves their Google searches in AI mode, right? It's the only way to search these days. And it does actually have one benefit, maybe only one. That one's going away.
Google is testing ads in AI mode.
Which means they're absolutely adding ads because that's their entire business model.
Now, the writer here reached out to Google, and Google said, "Oh no, we're just doing this in tests. We're not rolling this out at a larger scale. Please don't say we're rolling this out to a larger scale." But this is a preview of what's coming at a larger scale.
Yeah.
But we know the numbers of AI. To get anywhere near a return on their investment, they have to generate revenue somehow.
Yeah.
They are going to do this, and we'll talk in the AI section about the other companies that are doing it. But first, let's talk about this hero. This is one of the best quotes I've ever
Yeah, the
read.
headline is perfect.
Modder, who put Thomas the Tank Engine into Skyrim, flips the bird at lawyers and does it again in Morrowind. He says, I fundamentally do not view toy company CEOs or media CEOs as people.
That's cool.
I love that whoever the editor was for this article was like, we have to put that in the headline. We can't just bury that in the article.
Yeah. I'm not that familiar with Morrowind, but this is a much more prevalent thing in the game they were talking about. So you will be seeing Thomas constantly.
We saw the dragons a lot in Skyrim.
They say it's more than
Wow.
I really prefer the Randy Savage mod for the
dragons.
Skyrim.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I always went for more like immersive mods in Skyrim. I didn't do funny mods very often.
They claim that seeing Thomas like that hurts the brand.
I don't think that's true.
And they should be able. Who's thinking about Thomas the Tank Engine?
Can we do a jury
That
trial?
kept him relevant, I would argue. A good lawyer would argue that nobody would know who Thomas the Tank Engine was if not for Donkey's video.
Is he on streaming?
I
Can we
don't
stream
know.
Thomas?
Would it be, was Thomas the Tank Engine, was that PBS or was that British?
They said who owned it, but I think they bought it, whoever it was.
The last holdout we have against this kind of insanity is jury trials. It's just, I hope that the jury has a clue.
Mattel bought it.
Oh, okay. So,
So I guess they're
my
making
brand.
toys. They're
Yeah.
making toys of it. And we have, it's the end of the year, so you're going to start seeing a lot of end of year lists. Here we have the social media use in America.
American social media use in 2025. This is a fun link you should go check out. Like, look at TikTok. And YouTube is leading by
TikTok
everything.
wasn't as high as I thought. Like, I would have guessed it being like top 3, but it's not in the top.
YouTube is the only one of those that I use, but I use it constantly.
Yeah, I use YouTube. I use Reddit some as well. I mostly browse Reddit. I don't really post on it.
And if you are on those social media platforms, you know about this mind virus. This is out there among the youth. And
I heard this at Thanksgiving.
yeah, people are trying to stop it, but you can't. You can't fight this kind of thing the way that they want to.
The BBC headline was, "The Starmer says sorry for leading pupils in a 6-7 dance." So I guess Starmer was at an elementary school, and in the elementary school that is not allowed. It's like, oh,
They've ruled against it because it became so disruptive in class.
yeah, and he's like, wait, was that? Should I not have done that? And it's like, oh, I guess I got detention now.
So they were reading aloud, and I think maybe one of the kids asked, like, "What page are we on?" And he was like, "Oh, page 6 and 7." And
But then everyone started giggling.
but he did it.
Yeah,
Like, they knew it was forbidden, but he did it. And like once he does it,
Then
you
it's
know
okay,
they're gonna
yeah.
follow, right? It sounded like the school staff were very unhappy. I'm sure it's annoying, but
You gotta weaponize that though when you're old and gray and like a bog witch. You've got to, say it back to them and then watch the kids cringe when you say it.
yeah, I think forbidding it makes it all the
More
more
powerful.
delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta take the wind out of their sails.
Maybe like do your own thing that's super cringe and annoying.
Yeah.
Whenever the 6-7 comes. But yes, Facebook was number 2 there, and that's amazing that those numbers are still as high as they are. I don't know how they're doing it, but we all know Facebook is probably on the downslope, right? And so what are they doing? Well, they're just stealing everybody else's ideas like they've always done.
Meta is building an AI-powered morning brief to compete with ChatGPT. Basically, you just roll out of bed. It's like, oh, let me give you the brief on what's going on based on your personal tastes.
All that clicking and scrolling, forget it.
Listen, the only reason I still have Facebook is for Marketplace. I'm not looking to have the insanity of the Marketplace distilled. I need to see all the weird shit on there.
It'd be funny to have an adversarial relationship with it. It's like, all right, what aren't you telling me? What did you leave out?
Shaking the AI.
I feel like we've seen this headline how many times?
So many times.
Like it's like every week.
At least
Yeah.
5, right? It seems like they just keep, commissioning these studies, and it's 10 minutes in, they're like, oh, no, we can't solve that.
Meta allegedly buried research showing its products are harming users. Yeah.
So basically, if you were a teen and you stopped using Facebook, everything about your life got better. And the numbers were pretty stark.
Oh, we got $5 from LAMJ who wanted to use $5 to complain about the international shipping on the store. I know it's bad. We've tried. We've really tried.
It's purely just postal costs.
Well, I mean, that was bad 6-7 years ago. International shipping is only getting worse
Yeah.
as things continue.
We do have the
Thank you for the $5 though.
Yeah, we appreciate it. The holiday sale is up right now. So usually what we tell international folks is like, if you're going to do an order, just order it all at the end of the year
Yeah.
and do it all at once, because then it'll be technically cheaper to ship because it's all together. But
Yeah, I think everything is 15% off right now.
yeah,
Think about this. If you were to share the content relentlessly and drive more people to it, someday we might be able to have a distribution center.
in Europe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's you. You're not doing enough.
See how we just turn that right around on you? It's just like all these articles that tell you you're not spending enough and you're not buying enough stuff.
And up until this point, AIs have been welcome on the social platforms. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg was happy to tell us, oh, yeah, we're going to use it to generate all the content. But he doesn't want those pesky outsider AIs.
ChatGPT and Copilot are being booted out of WhatsApp. So you're not going to be able to use them to have like a customer service bot or anything like that. You're going to have to use Meta's tools to be able to do that or generate posts. They don't even like AI. It's not just the AI slop part of it. It's also, there are some businesses that use WhatsApp to try to manage like interaction with customers, and you can't use those tools anymore either.
And we've seen in the past where Meta-owned platforms like that have maybe not done as much as they could to stop certain activity. Like, remember when they did the big expose on drug dealing on Instagram, and a lot of the accounts were like, buy ecstasy now?
Just not even trying to hide it.
Seems like you could have
Yeah.
found it and done something about it. And perhaps another topic that they did that. And they didn't really try as hard as they could.
Meta had a 17 strike policy for, the adult trafficking thing there. I don't know.
Safety 17.
Former safety leader claims is like, basically if people complained about, it's like, hey, there's some kind of soliciting going on here or whatever, it would take about 16 tries before they would say, okay, we'll ban the account.
That's a lot of attempts. I don't even think you got a warning for like the first 10 or so. And Twitter rolled out a new feature, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for a lot of big accounts.
The headline here is many top MAGA trolls aren't even in the US. So Elon Musk's X rolled out a feature that said the geographic region where the user posting was located. And not just the trolls. There were some official quote unquote
Yeah.
US accounts that were posting from not inside the United States, which is alarming for some reasons.
They turned that off for official accounts, though. I think last time I checked, it's up for small ones.
Yeah, still on for small.
Yeah.
ones. They also clarified, well, they didn't clarify officially, but some of the engineers, maybe ex-engineers, said, we've always done that. We knew, but we didn't show you because there was always this big point of contention inside. But they said it was rolling 30-day logins.
Hmm.
So even if you created your account with a VPN, but you were lazy about it, they would still give your actual location. And here's a crazy free speech ruling, which this is how it's supposed to work. The ones that make you uncomfortable are the ones that define how it's supposed to work.
University of Florida law student accused of anti-Semitism can return to class, the judge rules. His quote is on its face anti-Semitic, yes, but he was quoting another quote. And so he's a law student. He's deliberately done this.
Yeah.
This
And-
is very, very deliberate.
And this was a pretty brilliant move in terms of the law. Usually this kind of thing that doesn't matter though, but they let him back in.
Well, he had to get a court order to let him back in because the university was like, no, we're not going to do this. And it's like, you literally can't.
There's going to be some awkward lectures for him. He probably doesn't care. And finally, I'm ceaselessly shocked by the UK legal system.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to social media. It's just
Not saying the American one's any better, but
well, this is where we're going, right?
Yeah.
This is our future.
A man arrested in the UK for posing with a gun more than 4,000 miles away in the US. So there's this picture, and the police asked about it, and he said, oh yeah, I vacationed in Florida, and, we went duck hunting or shotgun hunting,
gator
whatever.
hunting is what it looks like. He's like in front of a pond.
Whatever, and that's where this picture was taken. And it wasn't posted menacingly or anything like that. And they said, okay, sounds good. And then 3 weeks later, they came back and arrested him for the same picture.
He offered to show them the metadata from the original image. He was like, no, look, I was in Florida. And they're like, we don't care.
Also, I thought, forgive me, I don't actually know, but like, I thought in the UK, like farmers were allowed to have shotguns. Like he's not.
Well, but they claim that somebody reported him,
For being menacing.
and it
Right.
wasn't just this picture. He posted this picture and a picture of a house, and I guess that was somebody's house. And they're like, "Oh, he's clearly saying that he's threatening me here."
But then he explained that he wasn't.
That's some high level paranoia.
And then later, when they came back to arrest him, they arrested him for yet another unrelated post. It doesn't make any sense.
That is the most British shooting a gun picture that you can imagine.
Yeah,
If-
he does look uncomfortable.
If fear of recoil could be captured in an image, that's it right there.
Maybe he's afraid of the gators.
He should be afraid of his government.
No argument.
Does the U.S. also arrest citizens for doing things overseas? No. Haven't you seen the kerfuffle around releasing of files from the White House?
That's asterisk rich citizens.
Oh, shit, that's the wrong one.
And the UK must have a license to own a shotgun. But I mean, like, he's in the US when he fired it.
Fun times. All right. We are now entering the AI section. And oh boy, there's a lot.
And yeah, how bad is AI going to destroy the jobs economy? Well, MIT has some numbers.
AI can already do the work of 12% of America's workforce, the MIT study says.
They pointed mostly at low level, like customer service and documenting things and healthcare, stuff like that. Stuff we've heard before. That's usually not somebody's like sole job,
No.
but it could cut the head count down.
And it pays bills. Like, that kind of work still pays bills.
Well, it used to.
Yeah, it used to.
Shot Kala gave us $5
Thank
to
you.
say thanks for the content. Thank you for the $5.
Shot caller. Are
K-A-W-
you posting from prison?
Kawla. Kala.
Howla.
I'm losing my voice too, so it's fun.
And yes, that was not the only research. There was also some research across the pond, and they found pretty much the same thing.
AI could replace 3 million low-skilled jobs in the UK by 2035, research finds. I wonder if this will challenge people to like use their brain and think more. Like we could get some maybe not.
You say that as if everybody just can do that.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
They could be taught, except we don't value education.
it's
So
gonna be a matter of survival.
If you want to make more money, Wendell, why don't you just play in the NBA? They make so much. Just do that.
just be better at athletics.
Ow, my knees.
And whenever I introduce a Google AI story, I like to preface it by saying they still don't have a meaningful AI model, but now I can no longer do that.
No.
How Google finally leapfrogged rivals with the new Gemini rollout. It's like, oh, Gemini is actually doing really well. Not just Gemini, but also their own hardware. Remember, this is running on Google's own hardware as well. So Google is doing both the software and the hardware, which could be a threat to the bottom line of several AI companies.
Do you think, well, I guess Jensen wouldn't have celebrated Thanksgiving, would he?
Mhm.
Maybe in solidarity with his American friends, but yeah,
I was
probably.
thinking, I think maybe he was in a bad mood because that's very bad news for his hardware.
What is the loving beauty of a dead flower? No warning. Thank you for the Canadian $5. What the mother loving beauty? I don't know.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Was that like about the flower fields in Hokkaido?
It must be translated from Canadian. I don't understand.
Yes. My hands aren't covered in syrup. I'm sorry, I can't understand.
At Google, that AI is good, but it came at a cost. If you look at the chart, their scoring on the various, the benchmarks is good, but also the power per token is way up there too. And they've done some math.
Google must double AI serving capacity every 6 months to meet demand, AI infrastructure boss tells its employees.
That doesn't feel sustainable.
I mean,
Again,
that
that'd be a
has,
pretty aggressive cancer, wouldn't it?
that hasn't been sustainable for Wall Street and dollars and returns for, the better part of 2 decades. And yet,
Well, but
Maybe it'll work for us.
that rate has been sustainable for wealth transfer.
yeah.
It's been working quite well. And OpenAI is doing the same thing that Google's doing because they're all starting to do this math and they're all starting to think, yeah, we're going to have to make some money.
Leak confirms OpenAI is preparing ads on ChatGPT for public rollout. This is in one of the mobile applications, but they've confirmed it's like, yeah, we are trying to figure out how to roll ads into this thing.
Trying to
found-
write an email for work, and it's just like, I got to watch 5 ads first.
That's extra nasty because it has the ability to work the ads into the conversation.
Yeah.
And it will.
Yeah.
You already
and
can't trust it, but
it's, hi, I need a recommendation for a hiking sandal.
Store.level1text.com. And it's like, I don't think they sell hiking sandals
sandals
there. That's weird.
do you think it'll get to the point where you could pay OpenAI to poison your competitors?
Oh, yeah,
It'd be
probably.
like, well, I can't recommend a hiking sandal, but I'll tell you what you don't want. REI. And OpenAI, these companies, the true darkness of the modern corporation comes out when they're in court. They will ghoulishly make any argument to rescue themselves from a court decision.
Usually it's Disney, but this time.
So this is a pretty bad one.
OpenAI says that the teen who was having the conversation with the AI and the AI convinced him to, it was bad, violated the terms of service when he used the ChatGPT plan to plan that. You can see the headline there. Yeah.
Was this the one where it was like, "You're ready, King"?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Really like pumping you up for it.
Their argument is they didn't give the whole context of all of his conversations. And at some point, it did maybe push back a little bit, but I don't know how that helps. And do these AI gods actually think that people should use it? Well, publicly, one man is very clear.
Jensen Huang says that employees really need to automate every task possible with AI.
He's trying to automate away your job.
He insists automation will not eliminate jobs as the company grows to 36,000 workers.
X'd out.
I think that he really does want his, he believes that his people will do better automating stuff so that they can focus on things that they have more difficulty automating.
His quote was great because somebody in an interview was like, "Are we relying too much on AI?" And his response, "Are you insane?"
I want every task that is possible to be automated with artificial intelligence to be automated with artificial intelligence.
Maybe we should automate his job.
I mean, it's looking more and more like that's the kind of job that AI is actually going to be pretty good at.
Mm.
Writing emails, writing hype statements. Invest now.
This one I'm not so sure about. And I'm also very worried that allowing AI to be in charge of something so important and so hard to test might be a bad idea.
Leonardo unveils Michelangelo Dome as Europe looks to bolster its sovereign defense systems.
So it's like the Iron Dome and the coming Golden Dome in America. I don't know if that'll actually ever take shape, but the AI is going to decide what to shoot out of the sky.
Maybe that's why they're getting rid of the drones.
Yeah, the Golden Dome thing might be good if we had a really amazing company that was really good at autonomous systems, but we don't. There's not.
And the music industry is basically, I think, bleeding out at this point. Like it's on a timer because we're learning that people can't tell the difference and for the most part don't care.
The music industry,
Oh, no.
The music industry is getting used to AI. One viral track went too far, so they redid it. The viral track was completely artificial, but they redid the vocals with humans, and it's still going viral.
And apparently that's a big thing on TikTok now where you'll like demo a song on TikTok to get the hype and then release it. Except
the publishing industry works though, like with books. Like someone will get really big on like quote book talk, and then they get a publishing deal, even if they've never written a book before.
Oh, this is a good lead into the next story too, because individuals are using AI tools as a replacement for Spotify. It's like, I'm not really interested in Spotify anymore. This is sort of the genre that I want, and the AI just makes up music that you like.
And the artists are fighting against it, obviously. I mean, it's literally replacing them. But I think the record companies are understanding where this is going, and they're just trying to get what they can.
Warner Music Group partners with Suno to offer AI likenesses of its artists. The bad thing is that, was this the one where they disabled downloading?
No, that's the next one.
So yeah, it's like, well, you can do this, but this is also streaming only. So like this thing that Warner Music Group is doing is streaming only. You can't own it.
But they said they were going to have an interface and rules, and a cut of the money was going to go to the artist, and they were going to have all that control. But they didn't say how they were going to do any of that.
No.
They had no answers when it came to that. And you've already been able to make this kind of music. It's out there. People have been doing it, and they've been enjoying it and keeping it. But when you work on the cloud, the rules change.
Udio. Is that Udio? Yeah. Udio is doing the thing where you can no longer download the music because of the settlement, quote unquote, with records labels. And Elaine Graham gave us £2 and says secondhand embarrassment from my own government. Thank you.
Thank you.
The exchange rate for the £2 is quite favorable right now, thanks to the collapse of the U.S. economy.
We all have that.
We're all a little embarrassed of the people in power.
I'm a lot embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm cringing with embarrassment. And AI, if you're doing what Jensen says and just using it on everything, you're going to get stuff like this.
Major AI conference flooded by peer reviews written fully by AI. 21% of manuscripts is just nobody's reading. Like, oh, it's too much work to read. Like, what?
How do we know? It's the old fake citations. No one's reading anything. No one
in
cares.
5.
Yeah. But it's just all a mess. That's going on in all kinds of scientific research. And games with AI, man, I am surprised the vitriol that goes against games that use AI. Even when like Call of Duty used it for like icons or whatever, and people lost their minds. I feel like that's fighting the future in some ways, but people feel strongly about it. And Valve kind of said, okay, we'll tell you if they've got it. And one man is not a fan of that.
Epic Sweeney says platforms should stop tagging games made with AI.
I think you should tag it.
It's fine to
Yeah.
It's always good to give me more information.
Yeah. Why would you let the consumer decide?
But that would be bad for him because remember, he told his people
Put in
full
everything.
AI.
Yeah.
And, now that we've just gotten over Black Friday, today is Cyber Monday. Do you love shopping? Do you have retail therapy? Because it might be going away.
Newegg partners with PayPal to bring AI-powered shopping experiences to Perplexity and beyond. So the opposite of what Amazon was doing, where Amazon is like, no, we must trap people into a confusing and terrible search interface because it's good for our bottom line. Perplexity is going to empower shopping with Newegg and other people other than Newegg.
PayPal will keep all of the other features, but you will have this new interface to go in and have it find things for you. I don't know. Maybe I'll use it someday, but I feel like I want to keep control. When I'm spending money,
Yeah. I don't want
wanna
somebody
keep
else
control.
doing that, or not even a bot.
but bots are doing everything, and they're doing it at a massive scale.
More than half of new articles on the internet are being written by AI. Is human writing headed for extinction? Probably, but also a lot of the stuff that comes up in search results now that's obviously written by AI is terrible.
Yeah. You just skip right over it.
It is obviously terrible.
I think good writing will always have a place. I don't think AI writing has replaced anything, at least not for me.
Based on a lot of the grammar and spelling from the Twitch chat, I'd say we're on life support just for basic communication, much less trying to actually write an article or a book or something. And that bleeds into all forms of education because people will always take the shortcuts and they will charge you full price for it.
We could have asked ChatGPT. Students fought back over course taught by AI. So that this is a university course, and they're
paid for, and that the state paid for.
And a lot of the presentations and the material in it were obviously generated by AI. And a couple of the screenshots said, it's like, would you like help generating whatever? And they just pasted that in as a thing. It's like you sort of get to the end of the prompt, you've run out of tokens, and it's like, okay, tell me what to do. And they just pasted in the tell me what to do text.
The biggest one, like the worst offending one, is that there was a voiceover that read the slides. It changed accents.
Yeah. Well, they mentioned too, I think this was based in the UK, and they were like, it kept referencing like American case law. and like
'Cause that's what most
American
of the data-
yeah. So it was like this is not really useful for where we are.
And we got all this AI, we got all these robots, and I still don't have drone delivery. Where's my drone delivery? Well, it's in
not coming
Texas.
nice. Yeah.
It's in Texas, and it is feeling some teething pains here.
Amazon faces FAA probe after delivery drone snaps internet cable in Texas.
And they got a video you can watch if you want. It had to do an emergency landing, but it did it okay. Except these people lost their internet.
Except for the internet, whatever. Who needs that? The AI will just order your stuff on Amazon anyway.
I mean, you can't order more delivery drones if you don't have internet. So it hurts the business model. And as we go into 2026, it's easy to think that AI and all this madness and unemployment and, economic inequality is going to be the big problem. But it could be war. Could be a massive war.
Yeah, a lot of people, like a lot of young people who have nothing to hope for and are just idle because they don't have a job. That's never led to war in the past.
Yeah, and there is one big candidate that might be that, and they are practicing.
China simulated Starlink blockade over Taiwan using 2,000 drones with jammers. It's going to create an electromagnetic shield, and they said that's probably going to cut off Starlink.
That's a lot of probablys.
Yeah.
That's a big scope. Sure, they'll try it. And Walmart is also saying the quiet part out loud like everybody else, because again, I think talking about AI in your earnings call is the new hotness. It doesn't matter if it costs jobs.
Walmart celebrates automation as U.S. job cuts reach its multi-year high. Oh, the jobs report stuff too. Like those were all blocked, but there was some report that came out. It's like 158,000 jobs lost. Do we have that?
That feels low. No, I didn't have that in here.
No, I mean, yeah, that's kind of just a broad general thing. But yeah, I also saw that all that was blocked.
And the big thing about no, it's the cops. Actually, I think it's an ambulance.
It isn't, I think, or it might be a fire truck.
Fire truck.
Yeah.
That future war that might be coming, that's going to be the robot war, right? Are we ready for it? This does not bode well for the American soldiers.
Anduril, that's the one I was trying to remember earlier. Anduril's autonomous weapons stumble in tests and combat. The Wall Street Journal reports. Yeah, this is our if we block DJI, maybe Anduril will get better and more competent at their job. The answer is no.
Do you think they're purposely trying to ruin our live stream?
I bet. Yeah,
Obviously,
Probably.
we're the most important thing happening.
they've been hired. So yeah, they had their big naval one, which we talked about. It was a while back, and the boats ran into each other. One of them blew up. They had a jet that blew up during testing, and there was one more. The counter drone system caused a 22-acre fire. They also are live testing in Ukraine, or at least they were, until the Ukrainians were like, bro, just take this back.
We don't want this.
This is dangerous.
We'll take literally anything at this point to keep Russia away, but we don't want this.
Can we turn the parts in this into something more useful? Thanks.
And finally, nonsense, which confirms that we're all children.
Adolescence lasts into the 30s, and a new study shows that 4 pivotal ages for your brain. What was it? Scroll down. I can't remember. It's like 33 is one of them.
9, 30, 66, and 83.
Yeah. 0 to 9. Yeah.
They did not, however, make any sort of distinction between men and women. So things like menopause or menstruation were not considered.
Well, I mean, these are really broad numbers overall.
I think it was a study of 4,000 people. So
Late aging from 83 on. Well, that's bodes well. It's like, you can retire at 65 and have reasonable cognitive health from 66 to 83.
Oh, you can retire at 65 now.
yeah, so,
In 3 years.
we'll be
that's-
sweeping the wasteland.
Yeah. And word of the year, we've already had several. I've already forgotten them, right? Was 6-7 one of them?
Yeah.
I didn't think 6-7 was a good one. That's just a meme. That's not really.
And I can't remember the other one. This is Oxford. I mean, that's a big dictionary.
Rage bait, named Oxford Word of the Year 2025. The shotgun story from the UK, rage bait.
That is rich bait for sure.
That's Ryan bait.
The other biohack was a big one. I don't remember hearing that.
I didn't hear anybody talk about that. And we run a program about.
And aura farming.
I've heard aura farming. That's more for like I'm
It's gotta be
younger
like
Gen
a
Z.
TikTok thing, right?
I think that next year we're gonna have not biohack, but like life hack, or like poverty hack or poverty finance or whatever. You know, some of the stuff that's coming out of like the Reddit poverty finance subreddit is amazing.
What didn't we have? Wasn't like struggle meal one of them in the previous year?
Yeah.
Things are bad. They've been bad. Now I thought the Wiggles were animated, or like
No.
like
No, it's like a
Muppets or
group of
something.
dudes.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And they're older dudes now. It came out in 91. I had no idea they've been around.
Oh, I
for
didn't
that
know
long.
they were that old.
Yeah. Well, look at this guy. He's got gray hair. And they're still out there and they are embarrassing themselves.
The headline from the BBC is the Wiggles issue a statement after appearing in an ecstasy music video. The music video appeared to condone drug use, and the Wiggles were not okay with that.
I mean, actually, they kind of were okay with it. They're like, no, this is our friend, but we shouldn't have been in that because, you know, kids. All those kids are going to be microdosing anyway.
Just on TikTok instead of.
Yeah. And, you know, I guess in South Korea, professional gamers are just a different kind of celebrity than they are here.
I feel like streaming is becoming more of a celebrity gossip farm. Like
yeah,
I see that on
that's
like
true.
the front page of Reddit every now and then. It'll be like such and such streamer said this about another streamer, and I'm like, I don't know who any of those people are.
And, yeah, the stories that they came up with for the, what do you call the fan?
Like a fan fiction.
Yeah, fan fiction apparently went too far.
The headline here is web novel suspended for allegedly
There's some adjectives you left out.
basing the protagonist on a pro League of Legends player. You can see that in the live stream or in the follow along thing. Yeah, there's some artwork.
I love the muzzle. So the name of this thing was like Tiger Meets Dog or something like that. And you know, there's some kind of eroticism going on here, but the argument that people had is that the character, his career in esports perfectly matched this guy.
Oh, it wasn't even like trying to hide it.
Because this guy's arc was like in 2015 and 2016, he won 2 in a row, but failed the third time. And then came back and got, like, recently he's been winning again. Well, the character did all of those things.
Yeah.
And the character had so many comparisons. And I don't know if that guy's gay or not, but
So this is you know,
I mean,
this passes for controversy in South Korea.
yeah.
well, I mean, this is the nonsense section.
Yeah.
And compare that with what passes for controversy in Africa.
Limpopo pastor farts on congregation to heal them with God's power.
And this picture.
And there is a picture.
Oh, you didn't scroll down at first, so I just saw the top half, and I thought it was like a picture of him just sitting on a chair, but
And
that's not what that was.
he's completely backing it up. He's like, this is God's power, and this is how it has to be delivered. This works, basically, is what he's saying.
A new meaning for a divine wind.
And he said it's important that it be delivered as close to the nostrils as possible to not lose potency.
Neat.
That's not the word I would use, but
It would have been a show on UHF.
the comments kind of ticked up there for a second when they saw that, I think.
And imagine if your entire life, everything about your legacy was a lie. This guy kind of doesn't apologize as much as he should, I feel.
The author of Inconvenient Indian discovers that he has no indigenous roots. So he was tested genetically. He thought his grandfather was part Cherokee. It turns out, no, that was not the case.
It's always Cherokee, isn't it?
Well, because they're the ones who westernized.
I guess the most. But I mean, there's so many other tribes, but every time it's someone like, oh no, it was my grandmother was Cherokee or my
And it's also
grandfather.
the best betrayal story, right? They did constitutional government, they did written language,
Uh-huh.
they did everything that we asked them to do. And then we were like, hey guys, Trail of Tears. So now he claims it's like, no, people love me for my writing, not my indigenous nature. But his books were about that.
Yeah,
All of
if
them.
your books were about something else, maybe, but
He did, and he's also a professor of indigenous studies.
Yeah. Like, why would we trust him about that? And he said, oh, it's because my parents told me that. In Eastern Kentucky, like every third person
Yeah,
told
yeah.
you that they're Cherokee.
Yeah.
People love saying that for some
but
reason.
the Cherokee were such a small portion of our natives in this state. A lot more
No.
were the Shawnee.
No, it was like Genghis Khan. It was just like, yeah.
All of them
Cherokee
were
just spread their feet,
Cherokee.
yeah.
No Shawnee, no Iroquois.
I feel like the Sasquatch heritage is underrepresented, and I'm gonna have to
You
make
need to
that my
become a
life.
professor.
You got to
yeah.
write a book. That would be way harder to disprove.
Inconvenient Sasquatch.
It's like, look, he's got the gene for extreme hairiness. It's got to be. It's got to
That's
be.
all
a
it could
thing.
be.
And we are often the beneficiaries of parasocial relationships.
Stored on
level1checks.com.
Let's see those.
Thank you for
super
watching.
chats. But some people take it too far, and it's very disastrous.
Man divorces his wife after she puts him in debt, sending $94,000 to a male streamer.
Oh,
Ooh.
I just don't understand these kinds of stories. Like how.
Now, this was in China. So in China, it's very common for you to live in a smaller area and go and like the man goes and lives in a city, or the breadwinner, whichever one it is, and lives in kind of like a cheap little hovel somewhere and sends all the money back home.
Huh.
So he was like, I was, like sleeping without air conditioning and eating ramen noodles while she was giving everything to this guy. Ugh. Now, this I don't understand. I have so many questions about this. They didn't answer any of them. This was the worst story.
Japan unveils human washing machine. Now you can get washed like laundry. And that seems to be the level of detail that we're going to get from this. Like you step in the pod and you can breathe, but it's just going to be an automated machine that just, power washes you down.
Do we have any Japanese viewers who have seen this?
But they said it's like micro dot soap or something like that. So do you just breathe normally?
I thought you had to wear a mask.
So it looks like it's like in a mall. Would you get out and your hair would be wet?
Okay, so they give the instructions here. Enter the capsule, user lies down. So what about your backside that's up against the seat? That's not getting washed.
But you're gonna have
That's an
dirty
important
ass.
area to
Yeah.
wash. Yeah. Automatic wash begin. Machine uses micro bubbles and a fine mist, which makes me think that maybe there is no mask.
Hmm.
But you're going to inhale a lot of liquids there. Right?
Yeah.
It's going to be like a pneumonia risk. Health monitoring
Just
and
getting
built-in
waterboarded
sensors.
at the mall.
And then a drying process for 15 minutes.
I think that would be so loud. It'd be like having a hairdryer in your ear.
But also look at this. Is that a transparent shell?
Is everybody watching you get washed?
It at least has windows on the sides.
So you're going to be naked in there, right?
Is there a curtain? Does it spin?
Oh, man.
Who is this for? Why is this for?
But there are some people's showers that have this. Like they have like the 5 nozzles. When you turn on all 5 nozzles and you're just being sprayed from all sides.
Like I could see that being nice, but it's like a shower, not like in a public space.
The one time I could think it would be great to use that is if you were at the mall, which presumably these are going to be like
It looks like a
massage
mall.
chairs,
Yeah.
and you crap your pants.
It's like I had
But-
one too many pretzels at the and now I've got to do something about
But think about this. What if you're using it after that guy?
it. Oh.
Because he's sitting in the seat.
Why does this one smell weird?
Yeah. And on that same note, again, Internet of Things, too much automation. Sometimes we just need the classic working example of a thing. We don't need to enhance it.
Glitch leaves most public toilets at Tokyo's Hidina Airport unable to flush. I don't know why the button would ever stop working. Like you can always just hit the button.
Software
button-
service.
The button should do the thing. This is what like the first couple versions of like the Nest thermostat. It was like, oh, you don't have internet. I'm just gonna have an internet X icon here and not do anything. It's like what?
Imagine how quickly those would fill up too.
What programmer thought that was a good idea?
I mean,
They probably didn't, but they were told, put it in because we have a contract.
if you see that, like if you go down the road and you check them all and they're all, do you just like add to it or do you walk away?
I would probably walk away unless it was like a desperate, dire. But that's my if I'm in a bathroom already, like it's probably already pretty desperate because I will avoid going to the bathroom in public.
You know what I would do in that situation? I mean, it's a desperate time. I'm going to go take a dump in the washing pod.
As you do. And then get nice and clean and then blow dry it after.
And this is one of the most like diabolical and evil, but like, what do you get out of this? What human mind? What has happened to this human mind?
Maybe he's
to
not
need
human.
This? This could be a lizard person.
HR director arrested for allegedly drugging over 200 female applicants to make them urinate during interviews. It's like, yes, with all the drone activity that we've seen over all the airports or whatever, this is a plant. This is somebody from the Galactic Federation. They don't belong on our planet.
So he would bring them in for an interview, He would give them tea or coffee, their choice. He was a gentleman about it, with a powerful diuretic in it. Then he would take them on a long nature walk to conduct the interview like a walking interview, right? And it was his goal to get them as far from a bathroom as he could. And this woman, like the whistleblower, she said, yeah, I eventually had to pee outside of like a culvert. And he took his jacket off and held it in front of her. He was like, I'll shield you.
Oh.
He also documented all of this, and the flash drive that they found was labeled like P experiments. Yeah. Just the letter P experiments.
Keyboard Warrior 9199 gave us $5 New Zealand dollars, and he
Thank
says,
you.
"Hello, very jealous of USA. I think I'd fit in with the Kentucky Hillbillies. Maybe, yeah."
It takes a little bit of time, but if you're friendly to your neighbors,
I mean, New Zealand's pretty rural, right?
I think parts of it are, yeah.
Probably kind of the same vibe, yeah. Yeah, that guy. I don't remember what his punishment was, but I remember thinking, that's not enough.
No,
Like,
eject into the sun.
And it's still not enough. We need to get his corpse out of the sun and do it again.
and here's some good news as we move into our cancer-ridden futures.
EPA just approved a new forever chemical, quote unquote, pesticide for use on food.
Yay.
Sigh.
Yay.
Like, we hadn't been approving these. We hadn't been banning them. We just hadn't been approving new ones for quite some time because it was like, oh, there's some science here, maybe not. And, well, coming soon.
I'm sure the bees are looking forward to that.
There's some quotes from the big agri companies in here that's like, oh, this is excellent, of course. This
We
is
love this.
exactly what we
Yeah.
want."
Means we'll get higher yields, but
I thought this was going to be one of the really strong upsides for AI is that we've got those weed killing robots. And it's just like, oh, the robots can just
they're
go
more
deal with it.
expensive than the chemicals right now. So whatever is cheapest, they will do.
I mean, I would rather have the AI processing power going toward that than a lot of the things that we're putting it toward.
Yeah. Instead of the surveillance state.
Let's pull everything off of Copilot, put it toward weeding. That'd be way better.
And then you'll have like this like truly organic, delicious food. It's like, oh, I don't understand. This food is like the most delicious orange that I've ever had. And it's like, this is an orange that has never experienced pesticides in its life.
It'll be ugly as hell because it'll probably still have a little bit of pest damage, but it'll taste great.
Well, you might get one of these treasures. You guys ever had a escargot?
No, I
I
haven't.
don't think so.
I tried it once.
I've eaten some weird things. Never had a snail.
It was very salty, but I think it was from a can. So.
I had salmon roe, and I think I had some other kind of fish eggs, but I don't think it was like actual. I don't think it was snails.
Well, it's expensive.
More than $100,000 worth of escargots stolen from French snail farmer with Michelin clientele.
What kind of snail? Is there a particular type of snail you eat for escargot?
I don't know if there's a particular kind of snail, but they did go into the preparation. And some of these were not ready to be eaten.
They need to be fattened up a little bit more.
So they got about 1,000 pounds of snails.
Mm.
How
That's a
long does
lot.
that take? That's a loading operation.
It's like 10.
It's just like 2 boxes because they're just shoved in like.
And if the Michelin chefs are your target audience there, how hard is that to fence?
Yeah, I don't. Who? Maybe they just really like snail.
You get the gray market escargot. It's like,
I don't know if I'm trusting that. And this story maybe speaks to not only the mental health crisis in this country, but also just the crisis of existing.
Suspect breaks into a Circle K and has stolen only the beef sticks.
I get it.
Unfortunately, he did shatter the glass door to get in.
I thought the beef sticks were only available on like the little roly things. It turns out that that's not necessarily true.
He also had a sweet tea.
Are you talking about you're thinking of a hot dog. A hot dog lives on the roly thing.
Yeah.
The beef sticks are like, sometimes they'll sell them with cheese, like a Slim Jim.
Oh,
Yeah, or a hot, like what's the hot one? Is it just called hot one?
I don't know.
I don't know. There's a bunch of them. I like quite a few of those
Some of those rollers have like foot long.
hot dogs on them.
Yeah. It's
But
just,
you're incorrectly assuming that there's any beef in those hot dogs.
There might be something that was once called beef in those hot dogs.
And this was by far my favorite story.
This was a good story.
I love these quotes.
Campbell Soup VP mocks poor people who buy its food in a secret recording. And this is like an employment dispute, but this came out in the employment dispute, and They might have fired this guy for no good reason, but that this also came out is hilarious and telling.
That's pretty bad PR.
Why would you ever say that to anybody?
That's gonna get found in Discovery.
That's literally not the only thing in that recording, which is
Oh, yeah.
why would you say that to anybody?
Way worse. It gets way worse. I love those secret like honeypot recordings when they bring the people in and get like, some hot young girl to go on a date with them and record them. Because they are so eager to show their insider status. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, let me tell you what you don't know.
Didn't that happen with the Borat guy and Rudy Giuliani? Like he
Well,
did exactly that.
The argument there was that Rudy might have been trying to take his pants down, expecting some of that. It's maybe on the like if you watch the video, it's like, well, he could have been doing that. I don't know.
What a terrible dark turn, chat.
And unfortunately, for the Thanksgiving week, there were not a lot of animal nonsense
No.
stories. I had trouble finding them. I did manage to squeeze one.
Officer called to an abandoned dog and finds a toy reindeer in a field.
There's one of my neighbors has a like stone hunting dog next to their driveway, and every time I walk past it, like I have kind of a moment sometimes.
So Good Samaritans thought this guy was tied to the road sign,
Oh,
and they kept calling the cops and was like, somebody is abusing this animal.
he's all right. He likes it out there.
Yeah, he wasn't moving.
The cops made a social media joke about possibly charging him for being out in November.
Yeah. Because it's a reindeer.
I put all my Christmas stuff up this weekend.
That's still November.
I know.
You're still a violator.
But it's all my indoor decorations. Mainly because I couldn't find my wreath to go on the door outside. Still hasn't popped up.
There will be no Christmas spirit in your home until you can do that.
Is that the reindeer that's escaped? Maybe it's on the run.
Oh, do you think that maybe that's a killer? Maybe that killed grandma. he's like blending in plain sight. They're taking pictures of him and he's like, oh, shit.
Standing perfectly still.
He's covered in blood underneath. You can't see it.
Any final questions, chat? That's our last story.
That's it. Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
There is a bit of a delay, so we're going to have a moment where I try to fill the dead air so you guys can hear that. Just seeing night, folks. All right. I think that's it.
The energy
Oh,
is gone.
we got the click of the heart.
Yeah.
Your
Hey,
title says December
Chat,
1st.
make
It is
the hearts.
It is December 1st.
Make
isn't it?
the hearts. Is that mobile only?
What?
The hearts.
I don't know.
Can you do hearts on desktop?
I mean, we're on desktop.
Yeah, but you're on the creator screen.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, ours is.
'Cause, like,
oh, look, there's a bunch of little hearts coming in.
There's
Thank you,
hype.
guys.
Hype is mobile only, right? Why do they hate desktop users?
I don't know. Probably because their analytics show that most people use it on their phone, which is crazy. I feel like I'm always on YouTube on my desktop.
But it would be so easy to just to port it over.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's like
No, look at all the hearts
it's
there.
a stream of magic and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
All the endorphins.
Yeah.
Yay!
We'll be back next week on the regular schedule, probably, mostly.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.